Yo, what's up, everybody? See, it's not anybody going right now, but all right, I'm gonna get started because this may take a while. Today we're gonna try and config this printer and get it to run. We're gonna start off by programming the Raspberry Pi, going through the Klipper setup through the Raspberry Pi, getting that all set and ready to go, and then we are going to go into configuring the Octopus motherboard. So without further ado, let's start getting this going. All right. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to get a Raspberry Pi imager, download the software. Let me move this. I'm going to be on this computer for a minute. Move this microphone over. All right. Hopefully I can be heard a bit clear through here. All right. So we're going to go to search Raspberry Pi imager. And we'll go here. This is basically just introducing the imager. We'll go to the software and we'll download. This is a Windows computer, so we'll download from Windows. As you can see, it's got a copy up here because I already downloaded it, but I didn't install it yet. So from here, we'll go to the download. And I'll use the one I just downloaded. All right. Yes. We'll install it. All right. So we'll run the imager. All right. It's right here. So what I'm going to do is I have this SD card right here. I have this SD card right here. It is 30. No, that's the 64 one. That's going to be for the Octopus. But I have this one right here. This is 32 gig. Pop this open. Got some scissors. Hold on. All right. So let me cut this SD card out. Here, and let me get my adapter, put it in there. All right, so let's go back to the computer. All right, we had the card in. Out of this, I'm going to choose the device. Got a Raspberry Pi 4. All right, let me choose the operating system. See, recommended Debian operating system. I'm going to choose the storage. We're going to go with the mass storage device, USB 3.1. It's 32 gigabytes. All right. That's it right there. Next, edit the settings. All right. We are going to name this thing. All right. Let's see. Ender 3 NG. All right. password name. Why not? So we're gonna call it Jedovi 3D. Hopefully it doesn't show my password. Alright, I'm gonna have to switch the screen so you guys don't see my password. It's me. Alright. So alright, let's go back. Alright. So I think that's cool, that's cool. Services. We're gonna enable SSH. Okay, options, please sound finish. No. I think that's it. Configure wireless LAN. Maybe. Or we can do that once we get in there. Yeah, we'll do that once we get into the once we put it into the Raspberry Pi. All right, so all that's cool. We're gonna save it. Would you like to apply operation customization? Yes. All existing data on mass storage device mass storage device USB device will be erased. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. So right now it's just preparing the SD card for us to put it in the Raspberry Pi. Once we get that going, we'll put that into our Raspberry Pi. Excuse me. We'll put that into our Raspberry Pi and we'll get started on that with the Klipper KIUA8 setup. So let's get started on that. While this is configuring the Raspberry Pi. All right. So let's close this. We'll go in here and I'll go to KIUH install. All right. Go to the GitHub. And this is what we're actually going to do. This right here is just showing the process of what we just did. So when Debian, boom, same thing. All right. Let's see what we're looking like here. Got 21%. So while this is doing that, I'll just basically explain what we're doing. So when today there's 4 things I want to make sure I get done. I'm gonna try and configure this Klipper file, the config file, as much as I can. But the 4 things I really want to get done, or maybe 3, is the A and B stepper motors. I want to get those done inside the config file. I also want to get the beacon probe that I have configured, so I can take care of the X and Y and Z axis. That way I can do the homing and everything like that. I don't know if I'm gonna run any filament in there and do any testing. It just how easily it flows today. If it flows good and we can get up to that point, then we'll do that, which means that I have to set the config file all the way up, including the nozzle wipe. So the nozzle wipe definitely have to be set up because of the beacon. If there's any loose hanging filament, it can mess with the auto Z calibration. So, and we don't want that. So we'll have to set up that inside the config file as well. As far as the printer, you guys can see, like I said, it's ready to go. I have the side fans installed. So everything is wired up in the back. We got all of that. After I'm done everything, like I said, I'll do like a tutorial style video with the enclosure. I already started that to a certain extent. I just was waiting for all the parts to be printed, but we'll just leave it like it is for now, so you guys can see the step, you know, the setup of the printer from beginning to end. I know this is episode 17, and hopefully it's the last and alive. The rest of the videos will be like just reviews on it, you know. But printer's looking pretty good. It's looking ready to go. I can't wait to get this thing started, man. I just can't wait. Let's see where we're at as far as this goes. So we're at 73% right now. When we do the beacon, this is our setup page, the beacon probe. So these are some things we got to put in there. We also got to go into, let me get this. Do I have this? Yeah. So we basically got this set up for the Klipper documentation, because we're going to do, we're not doing physical like sensor end stops. We're doing home sensorless end stops. So this is information on that. Things that we need. I have a bunch of references too, just to make sure we do it right. Another thing I want to pull up here is I want to keep this. Definitely need this. All right, we don't need this anymore. So what I want to do is Klipper configurations. Take us to that page that we need. Klipper configurations. All right, yeah, this is the whole Klipper doc. You see the bed. One of the things we're gonna need: bed mesh. See bed underscore mesh. So we'll need this information. Following information about bed mesh objects. We need the profile name. Pardon me, min mesh. See if it has anything in here like it's the polygons. That's the meshing extruder. Bed mesh examples. I also have this here. I created this folder. So I got my Ender 3 Pro as an example. I'll open that up in a notepad. So this is my Ender 3 Pro config. So I'm gonna take a lot of information from here as well, just so I'm not starting from super scratch. You know, we just definitely have to replace the pins from our motherboard. Looking for the bed mesh section just to make sure I have everything. Bluetooth. All right, bed mesh. So this is our bed mesh min and min. This is our max. This is the information I'm gonna need for the beacon probe. So we'll take that. We'll copy that. Shout out, you guys gonna see my whole research process. Oh yes, YouTube videos included. Let me see something. Let's see what he has here. Alright, these are screws, input frequency. Closest. So this is the information on the bed mesh he has down here. I want to see, because it may be different than what I have for the Ender, since the Ender is actually using a CR touch. So some of that information may be different. And it's down here in the corner. No. All right, so this screen is all the way in there in the corner. Need to get in the middle. All right, so on this, he's using the same thing, but it's all the way at the bottom. The information is all the way at the bottom down here. Let me see. All right, so compared to mine, like it's just a simple bed mesh, and it doesn't look like the one that I have. So my bed mesh, so speed on there, same thing. Min, max, probe. I had this fade target, end 10, 1. I might take all of that off. We'll see how that correlates with the beacon probe. But I'm gonna add more probe counts, which I'll probably do like 12, 15 to 12, something like that, to make it more accurate. It's 200. It's going to be 220 millimeters by 220. My min, I gotta see once we get Klipper and we get the config file actually rolling a little bit, and we can see like where we are on the actual Klipper screen. I'm gonna use Fluid to where we see where our location is. I'm gonna set the nozzle up at the most minimum position and see where it lands with the nozzle, and then I'll put that information in here based off of the offset I'm gonna have on my beacon probe. So I think for like the X, if this is the X and Y, this is the XY axis. So I think my X is a 0. Wrote it down somewhere. Yeah, my X is a 0 and my Y offset is 38.5. So my X, it'll be a 0 here and a 38.5 here for the actual minimum, and then it'll be 20. 220 by 220, maybe. See what we got going on here. All right, Raspberry Pi has been written to mass storage device, USB device. You can now remove the SD card. Bet. All right. Continue. Get rid of this. Close this out. We're gonna go to our folder. All right, we'll go here, find the SD card. Oh, they ejected it on their own. All right, bet. So I'll meet you guys over in the shop. Meet you over in the shop. All right. So here we go. The mic set up. The mic isn't on me. So, switch this camera up. I'm sorry. All right. Don't judge my wires. So this is the SD card. You see, focusing on me. There's SD card. We're gonna put it. I had to disconnect this so to make sure I can get it in there. We're gonna slide it. It's a little slot under here, under the Raspberry Pi that this SD card will go into. All right, it's in there. make sure all of our wires are connected, because this is connected directly to the motherboard. Sorry, you guys, I just gotta. All right. So that is connected directly to the motherboard. Like I told you, I haven't even turned this on yet. So we're going to turn this on for the first time right now. These wires situated. All right, we're all set. Get the plug. Let's see, I have one somewhere. We'll use this one. All right. So here we go. Here we go. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Woo. All right. All right, people, here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. We about to turn it on. No white smoke. No white smoke. Fingers crossed. All right. See anything coming on? Got power. It's on. Nothing came on. All right, everything's connected. Battery didn't even come on. All right. Let's take this off. See if we got anything wired incorrectly back here. Yo. All right, hold on. Let me take this off. Plug this. There, in, and are you all the way in? All right, I'm gonna leave this off for right now. Plug this back up. Turn it on. Alright, so it looks like we're not getting any power to the power supply. Let's see what's going on here. Turn this off. Plug this. I think that was the case right there. I heard some clicks, but looks like I'm getting nothing. Now this fan was supposed to come on to the battery, the supply for the battery, but I'm sorry, to the power supply, but the fan's not even coming on, so it looks like it's not even receiving any power. So we're gonna take this out and check our connections going into the supply. Gotta find my multimeter too to try and see if we can, something that I'm missing. Looks cool. Maybe. Yeah, the light, the switch. What's up, T? Hey, but the what's up, Strong Burgers? Yeah, the light on the switch is coming on. So I'm just trying to make sure everything, like the neutral, the negative, and everything is connected correctly. Try it one more time. I'm hearing clicks, like, and if it's, make sure this insulator is on here. So yeah, if you can see, I don't know. See this. On the camera, you can't really tell, but that light is on. Okay. But even on the motherboard, I'm not seeing the lights. And These fans are connected to the continuous running fans. So I'm not seeing it unless I got them wired wrong, but all my power to the motherboard is cool. I just got to get a multimeter to see if I got anything going through this thing. See, do I have one around here? Voltage tester. Even have batteries. My actual multimeter that I usually have, it's usually always in my face, but this one has battery power to it. All right. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not tough. It's not a tough thing. You just got to know where to plug things at. Yeah, I don't even know if this multimeter that I have right now is working. I should have had the one that I usually use on hand, but put it away for some reason. And let me just check to make sure it's not down. Yeah, I'm not getting anything from this one. Yeah, it's the stock power supply. Oh, okay. Okay, should have one of those around here. Yeah, I'm on every. Roger that. Taking I'm reading the comments. I'm gonna take a T's advice. I'm gonna take a fan, split the positive and negative, and see if I get any power coming out of it. See me work before you guys know I'm not a surgeon, so try not to hurt myself. Definitely not getting any power coming out of this. Yeah, I'm not getting any power. Let's see if there's any power going into the actual machine. I'm wondering if it's if this is actually bad. The port, the plug we're going to. Yeah. MJF is coming out good, man. It's coming out good. I'm just trying to get this electricity working going in here. Let's see, got neutral. Negative. I'm not getting anything in here at all. Not even getting any power going into the power supply. Yeah. Oh no, it looks like my yeah, probably. But the thing is, I never took them off from where they originally were. Yeah, I'm gonna check that. So, I'm gonna bring the camera down this way as much as I can. Now, this right here should be the positive. Yeah. Let me see if I can find that. Looking on, I'll put it on the screen in a second. See if I got an image that I can pull up. That's what I'm looking for now. Image to the Not finding anything right now, just for seeing pictures. Let me put this on the screen. Alright. Pretty sure I tried to double and triple check that before I got into it, but most definitely might be wrong. It's out of here. It's back in. I wonder if that's the same battery. Fourteen gauge wire going from the plug, negative, and what is this? It's the neutral wire. Sorry guys, this was supposed to flow a bit better than this. My apologies. Take a look at this one. Something totally different. That's different than the wiring that I have. Take a look at this. Positive. Positive, positive. The negative. This is wired exactly the same. Ground wire is on top. $115. Make sure my power supply is switched to 115. It is. Just double check that. Switch to 115. Check the fuse. Give me 1 second. Well, the light is on. So if the light is on, the fuse, it's probably not the fuse, but I'll check it anyway. Hold it up to the light. Fuse is fine. The wiring looks the way it's supposed to look going into the power supply. I don't know. Check my wiring going into the motherboard. Take that off. Wires are already all over the place. It don't matter if I take it off. No, man, everything looks good to me. What's that fan that I just had? Made that thing disappear. All right, here we go. Take this out of here. That should be running. Excuse the pups. Excuse the pups. Plug this fan directly up to the continuous running fan. Nothing. Maybe I gotta rewire this thing. You can tell me, yeah, no. I'm gonna take this camera off the stand and I'm gonna scan through it just so everybody can see it. One second, I'll switch. All right. All right. So here's the wire on the back of the power switch. All right. Set up exactly how it looked on diagram. Like I said, I never even touched this when I took it out, I don't think. These wires, I got everything tied together. I'll move them. You can see here, those are the wires going to the power switch. Got the positive and negative and the ground. Let me unplug this thing before I start touching around in there. Yeah, there's 3 pins on the switch. Talking about right there, T? Move this wire to the bottom pin. Wouldn't that just only switch the polarity of the switch itself? Hey T, look at that. Look at that. You the man, T. You the man. Appreciate it, man. You always save me, man. I appreciate it. Look at that. Putting the camera back on. T, man, I owe you lunch or something, man. Cool. Look at that. We'll put it back on here. Give me 1 second, people. 1 second. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, since I got the Raspberry Pi hooked up, let's connect this. Connect the Raspberry Pi screen. Hopefully we can see it. Alright, our Raspberry Pi is ready to go. One thing I do have to get is a keyboard. Give me a second. Alright, let me plug this keyboard in here. Alright, so I gotta connect this. Put in the right password. All right, I'll check it out. After I connect the Wi-Fi, I'll check that out. Password. I must be putting in the wrong password. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna switch the camera for a second. I just got to see my password to make sure I'm putting in the right password for the Wi-Fi. Definitely was not. I know why. I hate when this does this. It uses the wrong keyboard. I forgot how to change it. I just gotta find what I'm looking for. Alright, give me 1 second. I gotta find the right keyboard. This isn't my password, y'all. Let me see, did I save that? I hit cancel instead of OK. Let me see if I saved it. That's one thing too. If you set up a Raspberry Pi and you use like a Bluetooth keyboard, a lot of the times you're gonna have to, if you're in the United States, you're gonna have to put the United States keyboard in there. All right, we're good. All right, we're connected. Let me keep note of that. 168.1.86. All right, bet. All right, we got that. Raspberry Pi is cool. I am going to, let me shut this down manually first. Don't want to just shut it down. The perfect thing about this is, let me go. The perfect thing about this is, there's no white smoke at all. And it actually feels cool back here, so nothing's gonna heat up. As wild as those wires look, it's good. All right, I'm gonna. God. All right, I'm gonna turn it off to see if it turns off. And it does. Turns off. Cool, 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 cool. But now I'm gonna turn it back on, and we're gonna go back into the other computer. Just want to make sure the Raspberry Pi loads up and logs onto the Wi-Fi. Yeah, all the lights turned off. Everything turned off. The lights on the power supply, the lights on the motherboard, everything turned off to you. Right now you guys seeing the Raspberry Pi board. I just want to make sure it signs on the Wi-Fi, and that's good. All right, everybody, we're gonna head back over to the computer to program this thing. All right, sticky right there. See the headsets. Okay, let's turn this computer on. All right, so we good right here. I'm gonna minimize this. I need that. Turn this off for right now. And we're gonna head right here. Actually, right here. So the first thing we want to do is SSH into our Raspberry Pi. Let me get there. Pretty sure I have Putty installed on here, yeah. So you can install Putty, or if you're on Mac, you can use Terminal. All right, so let's see if we can pull this up by the name. host is not cached for the server, and the 3 will not guarantee a server computer, server SSH. Fingerprint, yada yada yada. Accept. Alright, I need the password. Access denied. That's the password I use, right? Oh, no. It's not that password, no. Oh, wow. Pretty sure that's what I named it. Ender 3 and Pi. Alright. Open this. Username Pi. Alright, that's not it. I'm gonna try and SSH in just through the IP address. I'm gonna get in here, people. That's it. Okay. Get into this thing. Don't worry about it. Right. Try that. And what I could do, because this is such a new instance of this, I can just take that micro SD out and just redo it. But I'm pretty sure this is what I named it. Pi, user Pi. Let me try it from this computer. Going through terminal. Because when it happens to me over here on this computer, the Mac, a lot of times, you know, I have to put sudo in front of it, but it doesn't usually do that with PuTTY. If I'm having issues like that, then it can honestly be because I'm not Wi-Fi and it needs to be attached Wi-Fi. This computer is connected Wi-Fi, so let me see if I can do it this way. Utilities, terminal. All right, so let's see. Let's see, sudo SSH pi add. What's it? Ender 3 ng. Password. Close. I'm sorry about that, y'all. No, I gotta hit SSH. All I could think of is I must have typed the wrong password when I put the password on there. So it's all good. What we'll do is we'll just take that SD card and redo it again. It's like I said, the instance is so new. I don't have to sit here all day and try and figure out what's up with the password. All right, so give me a second. Let me go back in here. I'll switch back over. All right, I'm gonna turn that off. Take this out of here. Let's see. So all I did was take this out of here. We're gonna reset this, restart it over, go through the imager again, and we'll do it again. We'll leave everything default. That way we won't have these issues. We can just do the Raspberry thing and I'll change it later. Got my adapter. See, this is live is not perfect, man. Live is not perfect. One of the main reasons I dread going live is because of things not working out the way they're supposed to work out. Absolutely, T. I'm psyched up, man. I'm psyched up. I'm ready to get this going. I did so much studying, and that's what I was just about to get into. Like, I've been so excited that this project is about to be completed that, man, I just been studying, you know, with the home, the sensorless homing and things like that, and you know, then you kind of run into bumps like that whole situation. I was extremely happy that you were there to help me. You know, if I was on my own, it might have took longer. Would have got it done, but it might have took longer. So I definitely appreciate that. But I just been so excited for this thing to run that, you know, I've been kind of letting fear get in the way of me finishing it. And I know it sounds silly getting on this thing and then, you know, not wanting to stumble and fumble, but you know, I just been letting fear get in the way. Like, it was a bunch of times where I was just going to sit down, go live and finish it up, and it's just like, no, I'm not ready. And when are you ever ready? You know, you just got to take that step, and you know, I can't wait. All right, so let me go here. All right, so we're going to go back to the imager. A lot of stuff on this computer. Absolutely. The you know, the last, you know, when I changed out the motherboards and other printers, like I've done it in like 3 or 4 of them now. It helped with a lot of stuff. It helped, you know, with this, but the actual whole build that, you know, seems like, you know, you're responsible for the whole thing. It's a little intimidating, but you know, you can get it done. I think what's making it more intimidating is the live. But other than that, if I was to do this on my own, like I said in the other lives, I probably would be able to knock this thing out in like a day if I had a whole day to focus on it. Let me see. Imager. All right, so I'm gonna just re-download it if it tells me to copy. Let's go. Yes. Install. Finish. All right, choose device. We got the Raspberry Pi 4. Choose setup. Pretty sure. Let me go here. I think we were good, but Raspberry Pi. Yeah. So we're gonna use the recommended one, 64-bit. Choose the storage is on here. Next, you have to edit the settings. That's what it is. See how big this password is? My password isn't that big. I must have did something. In the username, I had that all wrong. So what I'm not going to do is set that. I'm going to leave it as default. It won't allow me to do that now. All right, that's fine. Let me switch the screen before you guys know my password, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. I went through a bunch of essential and home through configs, looked at people's examples, a bunch of videos to see what what it's actually going to take to set up the sensorless homing. I have a good idea how to do it, T. I know you got to set your streams. You got to set your what else? Hold on, we can go there. While this is doing that, we can go through that. All right, so I'm going to name it Ender 3NG. That's going to be the name of it. Let me put the password in. All right, so that's the username. Should have my phone on me somewhere. Take a picture of this so I'm not forgetting it when it asks me for username and stuff. All right, I'm gonna try to configure the wireless LAN. Maybe not, but I am gonna set the local to and the keyboard layout here. All right, let me go back here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So before, when I went in there, I tried to type my password in over there for my Wi-Fi. I couldn't get it because I didn't set up everything in my local area. So, you know, I'm in the New York area, and I use a US keyboard. Now, the SSID, I would rather it pull the Wi-Fi from in there, because I'm not trying to look for my port. You know, it's the network LAN and all that stuff. I'm not trying to do all of that right now, so I'll let it pull the Wi-Fi. I took a picture of this just so, you know, when it asks me how to sign in through the username and password, this is it right here. Services. I'm going to enable the SSH. Use password authentication. That's cool. It's going to inject this one finish. Going to save it. Get it ready to go. I think we're all set up. Alright, going to apply my changes. Hit yes, and it's doing its thing. Okay, let's go over here to the sensorless homing. So, see, I guess what we was talking about, like, you know, as far as having all the configs, I have a basis of from my Ender 3 Pro that I have a basis from the Ender 3 Pro that I'm going to use as far as format that. Absolutely. This will do. Windows can't format D. Check to see that the disk and drive are currently make sure. And then try again. Close. All right. It's writing. I don't know what that was. It's still working over here. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up. All right. Yeah. That's kind of what I have too. I'll share that as well. I actually have it on my phone because for some reason when I save stuff to computer, so guys can see it. Got an old camera up here. Alright, so that's actually the config I'm gonna base it off of, the board round, but I am gonna adjust it. Like certain things down here I don't need. But the whole setup of it, yeah. You know, I need to configure, and that's for, I think this is for 09 if I'm not mistaken. 2209. This one is set up for a 2240. Yeah, I was looking up. Yeah, I was looking up the yeah, so all right. What I was looking was the sensitivity levels and the, I guess, the stealth chop threshold. It's set at like 99999. If you put it up to 1, you can get more torque and you won't have the skip steps. But you know, it's something I'm gonna definitely have to go through, T. Definitely. But you mean home and config? So what do you mean by the home and config values will be different? Let me go back to the screen. So, are you talking about this, like the speeds? Okay, wow. So all of these values that they have. All right, let me go to 2209. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's wild. See, I just saw that comment. Nah, I got you though. Let's see. So this is. So basically, all of this information in here has to be considered what's in the Klipper configuration website. So, of course, we're in UART. We need the pins, all the pins that control it. Current sense, resistors, so shot threshold, who set up, yada, yada, yada. So all of this stuff in here are things to be considered. So, what is this? I need this. That is okay. So you said sensorless homing macro. All right. Config John. Config hold current. Set TMC current steppers. Boston short drive is still flagged as clear. Move away. All right, cool. So as I can see here, it uses about if this is the home current, if this is 0.7, that's basically like 70%. Because 1 is 100% if I'm not mistaken. So they use about 70% of your run current to home. That's for the X. Homing override. Bad mesh. Homing override axis. Bad mesh must be cleared. Private homing. Homing reduce motor current. I believe it has to do with now home current, hold current. Okay, so now is this the actual macro that you use for the sensorless homing? Got you. So let me see. When you run so all right, cool. So let me ask you this. So when you actually like in your 3D printing your file, I can't even pull the word. The file when you actually send something to the slicer, you put in sensorless home, or does it when the G28 command is initiated, it does this on its own? Like when you of course you got to put include sensorless home X, but does it do this on its own? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you at work, brother. All right, cool. So you just include it in your, you save the macro, put it in a macro file under sensorless home, sensorless underscore home underscore X, and then you include it in your printer config. Doing a lot right now. All right, yeah. It makes sense though. It makes sense, T. So I mean, yeah, if you can send me some links and stuff like that, but it definitely makes sense. So I'll be able to pull up what you're saying, because I get it. Even with the Creality K1, they probably don't even have a macro in there like that, because when that one actually homes, you hear it slam into the printer. I'll be right back. Well, I'm going into the put the micro SD in. All right, all right. Got you, got you. That was one thing I was made aware of. Like I said, just to turn the printer on and get it moving. That's as far as I want to get. But I'm definitely got to go into depth because that's one thing I keep hearing about. The stepper actually just banging into the sides and stuff like that. You don't want it to do that. Okay. So I just place it in there. What we're going to do is I'm going to turn this on. So it's it's configuring, it's building this database right now. Let's get this thing started. Shout out to everybody who's been around. Definitely the team, man. Appreciate you guys watching the video. I know all you see is a black screen right now. This thing is still over here starting up. It keeps starting up. Hopefully I didn't have an issue with it not formatting that card. It's up, it's on. Want to check this thing and make sure it has that US in there. All good. This thing playing peekaboo with me. Make sure that's the same address. Let's try this thing again. Let's do this. All right, it's the same IP address. That's what it looks like. So, putty. Oh my God. That's crazy. It's definitely not working. That's crazy. This time I definitely even took note of it. Host name. I don't know if it's adding something. Let me see if it's adding the Raspberry on the end of my password. Nope. You guys are definitely sitting through my stumbles. All right, try this. Not it neither. All right, let me take a look and see if it's case sensitive. Case sensitive to the actual login. Go back to putty. I set the login and password, but and I tried the default Raspberry. It didn't work. So, but I did set the password. So what I'm gonna try and do, maybe it's case sensitive to the So let me try the password that I set. It's denying me. Let me try the default password. Denying that as well. Last step. This is how I'm gonna try and get into it real quick. This way. So I'm gonna go pi. Type in the yeah, I'm not understanding what's going on here. I'm definitely not understanding what's going on here. It's now allow SSH into it. Yeah, that's what I was using, that IP address. But let me, like I said, I'm on this computer. I'm connected to a LAN. This one I'm connected to Wi-Fi. I'm going to try in a terminal here. So let's see. That's not it. That's not it, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me see if I can switch. If this isn't an SSH mode. Where's this in? ZSH? You guys see in my notes. All right. Looking at something right here. execute. That is not it. Stop. All right, so let's do this. Open terminal. Customizing shell. All right, so hold on, let me see if I can do this. All right. I'll have to do it one more time and leave the password thing alone. Alright. So let me see. SSH sudo All right. I'm sorry, y'all. This yeah, I took a picture of the password, but apparently it didn't save that password. And I'm pretty sure if I go back into there and take that SD card out of there, it's going to show like a long password that I didn't put in there. So let me go back over here. And I'm just gonna try and cut the password off this time and let it be default. That's what I said I was gonna do last time. I should have just did it. Yeah. Well, I'm in here already, T. I mean, if I pinged it, it would just show the IP address. Like, I definitely see the IP address. It comes up. Okay. Let me go back. Let me change this camera though. Hmm. Yeah, Sam. Ping cannot resolve IP. Unknown host. Where am I? One Jedovi office. Hmm. Cannot resolve IP. Unknown host. Let's see something. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything with a ping. So it's not picking up anything. Let me see something. Jedovi office. Let's go back in there. So yeah, it's on there. It's just not allowing me to connect. Now the SSH. So, all right, I'm going back in there. I'll try when I get back in there. Oh, the Pi terminal? Okay. Ah, that's the reason I can't connect. It's not Pi. I'm typing the wrong address in there. That's what it is. But give me 1 second. Yeah, definitely on the same Wi-Fi. I don't need the Bluetooth on. All right. That's the thing. I don't think I'm putting in the right address. I think I gotta put in, because I changed it. I changed the name, so it's gotta be Jedovi 3D at Ender. All right, let me do that. Sorry about that, everybody. My puppies are warring, and I can't have them out at the same time. So let's go back to putty. Let's try this. Jedovi 3D at Ender 3 NG. Okay. And there it is. There it is. It's about time. It's about time. All right. So let's go back to where we were. It's just what I'm so used to, because you know when you set the name and password, and I usually don't do that. It's automatically pi at whatever you name the local. All right, let me get to so let's get to what we were doing. I'm running out of time here. Yeah, I was about to cut the live short and do it on my own and then get you guys up to date, but it's all good. We did it. We did it. All right. All right, let's go back here, and we're gonna take we're gonna paste that first command into place. All right. Enter. So what it's doing is getting any updates. Any updates is going to install. Any updates that need to be installed are going to install. All right, so we're good right there. Processing triggers, we're back. All right, setting up processing triggers. Doesn't look like it's done. That sure looks like it's done. Okay, so we got a CD to this. I don't want to call it repository, directory. There. All right, cool. So that's to download the Klipper directory. All right, and now we are going to start the Klipper directory. All right, it's on there. All right, let's read this. View change log. KYV6 was completely rewritten from the ground up. It's based on Python 3.8 and has many improvements. Version 6 is still in alpha, so bugs may occur, yet the feedback, yada, yada, yada. If you'd like to try out V6. Really don't want to. I'm gonna go with what I know. Six is still in alpha, so I'm just putting no. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, so. First of all, update advanced. All right, we're gonna install. All right, we gotta install Klipper. First. All right, Python 3. Instances, number of Klipper up is 1. You said you need 2? Why 2, T? I usually only set up 1. Oh, okay. Alright, this is going to install. Get back to sensorless homing. Yeah. I have a one of the rooms set up with my shop where I actually work on 3D printers. Another room in the basement where I have a bunch of 3D printers at. But I don't know. I'm one of those people. I don't like working in the basement. It makes me feel too enclosed. So I made one of the rooms my workshop. See how we're doing over here. It's moving. Yeah, absolutely. I need the natural light. I do music production as well. So even my like in my office right here, I got my soundproof booth. I have all my stuff up here. I feel too enclosed. I'm claustrophobic. So. And it's tough for me to even work in that booth sometimes. So like all of the music you guys hear on my videos and stuff like that, I usually make it, so. Yeah, FL Studio, I got a new laptop. I got a new gaming laptop to do a lot of my 3D designs on. And like I said, you know, the production for the videos I do on there too as well. So I had to get a gaming one to be pretty powerful, and I wanted to use FL Studios. I'm about to give something up. Hopefully I never get caught. So, you know, while I'm at work, you know, I prep for these things. The FL Studio you can kind of use easier. A lot of these other DAWs, they require like a keyboard. I feel better using a keyboard or like a MPC or something like that in order to make music. But FL Studio because it's one of those first ones. It's easier just to put the notes where you want them at. So I think, I'm just going to set up the basic stepper motors with the sensorless homing because it's getting kind of late. I ran into so many snags today. I didn't want to, and I'm sorry for anybody who stayed. I know it's a bunch of people that were in and out, but you know, installing stuff can get kind of boring. It's live, especially when you're tripping and slipping. People just want the and I'll create that tutorial type of thing later on down the line. Roger that. I'll do that definitely. you know, I gotta tweak this thing off camera anyway. It's already a lot just doing what we do on camera, but you know, tweaking it to where it actually becomes a vital 3D printer in our arsenal. That's for anybody who looks at this afterwards, who's on now. Jedovi shop, that's one of the places where we do a lot. That's one of our crafting places. Matter of fact, I'm online now. I might as well go. This is our website. Of course, you know we use a bunch of Patreons for 3D printing and our own designs as well. Circulator. Do canvas prints. I definitely am a graphic artist. I do canvas. Like I'll take personal pictures and make canvases. We do crochet, of course, mugs and stuff like that. We're just basically like a craft company. So yeah. See where we're at. Still installing, building wheels. Still got Python doing this thing. Okay. So this is one of the macros. Let me go here. This is one of the macros. Thanks, T. Klipper, macros. Okay, so I did see this. And these are the people I think who actually created the adaptive bed mesh leveling, and they work with Klipper. Okay, this is cool. So they got a bunch of macros in here for sensorless homing. Well, let me see. Excuse the pups. These guys always go crazy. So they got a home in override, home to Y, home to X, sensorless home and variables. Back off distance, Z-hop. Sensorless variable. Let's see the desire variables for sensorless homing, desire motor current for homing X and Y, time of seconds to wait stall bar register clear, distance in millimeters, back off. Disables moving print head from homing Z. Save X position. Pull variables from sensorless homing. So this is basically it. You can work these percentages when you're homing, so it doesn't actually destroy your stepper motors. I mean, I'm sorry, not your stepper motors, like your hot end. Yeah, the only reason I didn't do the three Z motors, and I will on the next build, or if I modify this, I want to create the and I just bought a router, which I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna design and create a what's it called again? I'm sorry, I hate when I do this. The yeah, CNC router. Yep, I just bought a CNC router. What's it called again? As soon as I see the name, the name just slipped my mind. Z-Tilt phone system. This is how I look stuff up. Just, I know what I'm looking for. It's just best practice. I forgot the official name for it, but you know, the system to actually really control your Z tilt to where it touches the three, where the actual three rods are, and then it levels it out. I forgot the name of that whole system. It's two systems in order for you to do that, where it's kind of like the build plate it's in position, but it's kind of like it's floating, so it can definitely overly correct the build plate being level. Right now with the triple Z motors on this, it does light tramming. It doesn't fully correct it. Like if your build plate is really off and correct it to be level. Here we go. This will give me triple Z. This will actually give me that name that I'm looking for. The kinematic bed mounting system, and then there's another one. That's what I want to design for. So I'm going to design for this a kinematic bed. People have already done it for the Ender 3 NG, but I want to design, you know, my own and be able to actually really use the three-stepper motors. All right, so we're good right here. Your current user is not in group. It's possible that you won't be able to successfully connect and or flash the controller board without the user being a member of that group. If you want to add the current user to the group listed above. Answer or else skip no. Go ahead, man. You can. All right, so that is Klipper. Going to install Moonraker. Install yes. I want to develop something like this. And there's another system. This is the kinematic. Probably spelled it wrong. It has like the 3 rods. I'm sorry, it's like 2 rods if I'm not mistaken. Core XY, see kinematic, and it's something else. Forgot the name of it, man. When I was looking into it, I saw that it was actually 2 systems, but I think this is the one I'm more interested in, the actual kinematic system, rather than the one where you're actually, it's like a T, it's kind of like a T-shaped setup, to where each of the sides lands on a one of the linear rods, and it the front part, like towards the front of the machine, is like it goes across and it lands on this linear rod and the 2 front linear rods. Then there's one single one that is connected to that T that sits on the rear rod, so you're able to really adjust the build click level. Let me see if anybody, let me see, kinematic, triple Z system, triple Z, let me see if it's that's the kinematic again. All right, so I keep adding pages. I hate when I add these many pages to printables.com. I know the one that I'm looking for that's shaped like a T. The guy, he designed it. It's on here. Right here. Like this setup right here. So it's kind of like a T, and that could work too. You know what I'm saying? That can definitely work. I can design something like that. The kinematic one just looks like it's less weight on the build plate, but yeah, it could definitely do something like that. This is what I want, rather than, you know, it being connected to the four screws where it just lightly trims it, but this one actually like works. Let me see if he has a video. He's in the Discord. He has a video in the Discord. I actually spoke to him about how he liked it. He says it's good. It's pretty good. But yeah, that's the setup. All right. So Moonraker is installed. I wanted to install Fluid. We're going to do Klipper screen and all that stuff later. Yep. I gotta remember this one too, so I'm not forgetting that. All right. Come on. What we look like? Okay, it is recommended to use special macros in order to have Fluid fully functional. Recommended macros for Fluid can be found here. If you already use these macros, skip this step. Otherwise, you should consider, and I'm gonna hit yes. I know I can adjust some, but it's good to have those macros they're talking about. All right, so now we have to create this. All of this stuff I'm gonna go back and do, but now we go here because we have to create the whatchamacallit for the motherboard, the firmware for the motherboard. Which you won't show on here. All right. So let me go back. We got Fluid installed. We are going to go to Advanced. And we have to build the firmware. So, I'm gonna build the firmware. Build it only. All right. So this is where I gotta get into the manual. See if it's saying. I'm pretty sure it's in here. Could have just looked at the table of contents, but let's scroll through it. All right, here we go. All right, if you are, let me close this. If you are using Klipper, then please ensure that you have the following settings enabled in order to download the firmware to the board while preserving the factory bootloader. All right. Produced by Bigtreetech. A bunch of different bootloaders in here. I really don't know which one I have. Precautions list this section should be overlooked. Should not be overlooked. They have been included as a reminder. And work on the motherboard with power applied. Always double check all jumpers. Motherboard can be powered 100. Always consult pin PDF. It is recommended to update the firmware using SD card. Shift. All right, so I got to go back here. I'm going to use the first one. All right. So let's go here. I'm going to enable. All right. So the micro controller, STM32. Cool. We are going to do STM, what is that? F429. Right? Bootloader 32 kilobytes. Already there. 8 megahertz crystal. PA1112. USB ID. Optimize stepper code for step on both edges. Not seeing that. What is this? Optimize. Is there anything I gotta change in here? No, I didn't think so. Optimize stepper code for step on both edges. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing any instructions on that. I don't know. Optimize stepper code for step on both edges. I think so. Optimize stepper code for steps on both edges. Support custom. Let me see if TMC 2209. Stepper acceleration. Alright, so I'm gonna keep that on. Alright, GPIO pins to set a microcontroller startup. Nope. Alright. So we're good. I'm going ahead. Q. Yes, say configuration. Alright, so once it creates the firmware, advanced menu, build and flash. So it's built. Yeah, almost there. But let me ask you something, T. Once it's built, I just pull it from like Putty, right? I could put it on an SD card from Putty, the firmware. I just gotta look inside the actual folder, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. So all I need to do is just move it out. I don't need to flash anything right here. I can get out of here, right? Yeah, but I gotta find that actual file that I need to flash on the motherboard. Pretty sure you can find it on here. Installation. Obtain Klipper configuration file. Configure possible interacting. Change building and flashing the microcontroller. Klipper menu. It's in menu config make. Oh, you know what? I don't think I made it. I might have. Let me check. Otherwise, flash device, configuring Klipper. I think I had to make it and I didn't. Printer configuration file, USB flashing connected. You know what? I think I'm gonna just flash it. I'm gonna go back and put it. There we go. I had to flash it. Yeah, I had to flash it to an SD card. That's the way I'm gonna do it. 2. Flash MCU. Make 1 flash. How is the controller board connected to the host UART? It's connected. Not connected USB. This is different than I ever. The reason I gotta go back here is different than when I connected. Yeah, yep, that's exactly where it is. Yeah, the file is there. Let me see if it's, let me go back there and see if I can find it there. If not, because I don't want to, because I'm not sure the way I'm connected. If do you put USB, do you flash it as USB, or do you flash it UART? Because I'm connected through the pins. I'm not sure. So it's home Klipper, yep. There we go. Home. Right here. All right. So let me copy this. I'll be right back. I gotta check to see what type of SD card. I'm pretty sure it uses a micro SD card. Micro SD. We're good right here. Dang, you almost cut your microphone wire. Plastic, man, please. There you go. Don't want to break it. All right. Mouse. So close this. Copy that bin file. Here. Write it down. Driver. Paste that on here. Actually can't be completed because the folder file format is opening. Okay, cancel this. Overwrite local. now we're going back into the workshop. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, go here. I want to shut down okay, turn this off. And I'm going to place this SD card right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna turn it back on. It should flash the firmware on here. Just gonna wait a little bit to make sure that it flashes the firmware. Then I'm gonna turn everything off. Or I can go in here and try and look up the IP and see does an instance of Klipper come up, fluid. That's a good thing. That only means I gotta adjust this config file in here to add all of the perimeters and the pins and everything so it can work well with this printer. So now we gotta get everything connected. So the motherboard has Klipper flashed on it. We just got to get everything connected. We got to get the Raspberry Pi connected to the motherboard, all of the stepper motors and everything like that. Their pins connected to what they have to do. So the config file tells the motherboard exactly what it has to do. That's all we got to get going. That's a bunch of, you know, like just me. I'm going to be copying from other printer config files, just replacing the motherboard pins where they need to go, the diagnostic pins where they need to go, and then getting into adjusting the printer. But yeah, almost there. You guys are with me to turn this on. Thank you, T, so much. It felt like I ran into a brick wall every single step of the way today. But we got to a point where things are working, and that's all that matters, man. And that's all that matters. These are just, you know, lessons for me. So anybody who watches this video and feels that it's overly boring, I apologize. But that's just the way it goes when you're doing something new. This is my first actual, like, full-blown 3D printer build, and I appreciate you guys taking the steps with me. So what I am going to do now is I'm definitely going to sign off. I am going to do some I'm going to do some work off camera, and I'll put you guys up to what I did. That way, you know, the next video could flow a bit smoothly. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. I got to look over the printer, and you know, happy printing, people. You know, when you get into tough times, just keep taking it every step of the way. You end up getting the things done that you need done, you know, and then the special people are there to help you. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.